Hey students, I've got some ideas for you for outside source reflection journals for this particular chapter. There's a lot of stuff that you can look up that I mentioned in the previous video, such as that aquifer project, replenishing the aquifer that's happening for the rice farmers in Stuttgart. You can look up some information about that, the progress of the project and the motivation behind it. You can look up some of the physical geography features and terms that are used in those articles and talk about that to kind of teach yourself some of these topics. But another thing that you'll read about in this chapter is a phenomenon called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And in my cultural geography class, we look at this as part of the human environmental interaction concept of Mr. Help. So you can read that section in the textbook on the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, and that's in the textbook in an assigned part of your reading, what you're supposed to do for your reading assignment, this particular unit. But you can find a lot of sources online that give you added information about the Pacific garbage patch, and look at the ocean currents that are dominant in creating it, because that's also part of the hydrosphere chapter. Is we're going to look again at ocean currents and better understand them. You might recall from previous lessons, one of the curated videos was a TED education video that looked at the rubber duckies that floated all over the world and were carried all over the world because of the ocean currents. So you could do a comparison of the pathway of those rubber duckies with the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. You can even look to see whether there's any rubber duckies in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Also, there's a section, a tiny section in that reading that I mentioned out of our textbook about debris from tsunamis that have occurred, specifically a tsunami in 2011 in Japan, but there have been, of course, other tsunamis previously this century. 2004, I believe, December 2004, there was a huge tsunami in Indonesia. Anyway, this, of course, is part of that flow and movement of the water cycle, and it destroys. Water power is so enormous, and it destroys, man-made buildings, etc., when it slams into them. And so you could look up the kind of debris that gets washed into the ocean and where it's been found in the world. There's a lot of nonprofit organizations that work to clean the oceans of this debris, so you can read about their projects and how it relates to the water cycle. And there's just a whole bunch of ways that you can approach doing your reflection journal with each of these lessons. And I'm talking to you about it specifically in a required video like this because we are past our midterm point, and you only have 8 reflection journal opportunities left. And so I don't know how many you already have, but you only have to do 10. And so if you've got 2 already, that's fine. You're doing well, but you can't skip anymore in order to get the highest grade possible. And I want you to get the highest grade. So look at me when I'm talking to you. Do your reflection journals, okay? Don't make me find you. So anyway, please check your grades in Blackboard and make sure, look to see, what grades you have filled in for your reflection journals already. And, if you've got 4, you need 6 more this semester. If you've got 2, you need all 8 that I'm talking about. If you've already got 8, then good for you. You only need 2 more and you can pick and choose. So keep that in mind and text me with questions. And the next videos on these topics are going to be curated, and they are required, and you do need to take notes, and you will use those notes on unit assignment 3 that's coming up at the end of this module. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.